Trustee Fenton?
Here.
Trustee Dodge?
Here.
Trustee Calandrello?
Here.
Trustee Healy?
Here.
Trustee Katsinas?
Here.
Trustee Malani?
Here.
Mayor Pico?
Here.
Please rise for the pledge. I pledge
Pledge
allegiance
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of October 19, 2020 regular meeting minutes.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Fenton.
move to approve the minutes of the Board of Trustees meeting of October 19, 2020.
Second.
Any changes? Call roll.
Trustee Fenton?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Trustee Dodge?
Aye.
Trustee Calandrello?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye.
Proclamation in recognition of National Apprenticeship Week.
So tonight, we have a proclamation in recognition of National Apprenticeship Week, whereas the Village of Orland Park is committed to develop a highly skilled workforce that supports the local economy and helps businesses thrive, and whereas apprenticeships are a strong career pathway that provides employees the opportunity to earn a salary while learning the skills necessary to succeed in high-demand careers, and whereas the rising cost of higher education makes apprenticeships an increasingly important career pathway leading to economic stability, especially for young adults not immediately pursuing college, and whereas employers that establish apprenticeships have seen continued business growth and more diverse workforce, greater productivity and reduced turnovers, and whereas National Apprenticeship Week is an opportunity to recognize the positive impact apprenticeships have on our youth, adults, businesses, and the local economy as a whole, and whereas National Apprenticeship Week is celebrating a 6th anniversary of raising awareness of the vital role apprenticeships provide in creating a qualified and highly skilled workforce in diverse industries in Orland Park and across the nation, and whereas advancement and well-being of the United States of America depends upon the continued development of skilled workers in their chosen fields, whereas an ever-growing number of job creators and career seekers are discovering the benefits of apprenticeships' unique learn while you earn model, whereas the Orland Park recognizes that robust apprenticeship programs provide tangible value to both job creators and apprentices with the potential to increase productivity, improve diversity and inclusion, and reduce recruitment and training costs while providing a pathway to prosperous careers for job seekers. Now, therefore, I, Keith Pecaw, Village President of Orland Park, Illinois, do hereby proclaim November 8th, 2020 through November 14th, 2020 as National Apprenticeship Week in the Village of Orland Park, and encourage all residents to join in recognizing the importance of involved workforce development through learn and earn programs like apprenticeships to create a more inclusive economy and brighter future. Dated this second day of November 2020. Any comments from the board? So I would like to thank Ed Sexton, a resident of Orland Park, and John Capuros and Keena McAfee with the Chicago Regional Council of Carpenters for joining us tonight. A regular topic of discussion for mayors and other leaders in the area is the need for trained, skilled labor. College is not for everyone, and it's especially important that we continue to develop people for jobs in construction trades as well as manufacturing. These are high-paying, skilled professions that require significant training. Apprenticeships provide that training, and we should continue to encourage these programs. And with that, I'd like to call you up here for this, as well as, do you have something that you would like to say?
I'd like to thank the mayor and the board for inviting us here to talk about apprenticeships. I'm glad you talked about a career. These are careers that require quite a lot of skilled training. I represent the carpenters, which is the best trade out there, but we have the electricians here. There are over 20 skilled apprenticeship programs in this area for construction. And a couple of things I just want to emphasize. Again, careers. Earn while you learn. Our apprentices make money throughout their apprenticeship. This is completely tuition-free training, and it's paid for by our contractors. So our contractors are the ones that pay the apprentices to come for training and pay them while they get their on-the-job training. So they work for 4 years in the Carpenter's Apprentice Program, and all of that is paid for by our contractors. So they recognize the benefit to them of having skilled workers and skilled training. And we appreciate, having the ability to recruit outreach through National Apprenticeship Week, along with a lot of our other trades. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Economic Development Advisory Board appointment.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Malani.
I move to advise and consent the appointment of Edmund Sexton to the Economic Development Advisory Board.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Trustee Calandrello?
Aye.
Trustee Fenton?
Aye.
Trustee Dodge?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye. I want to thank Ed for joining the board. I think it's an important addition to have someone from labor, because it is something we talk about all the time amongst the mayors, about the need for training and having a skilled workforce that when we try to bring companies to Orland Park. So great to have that perspective, and the timing worked out well with an opening we had on the board. So with that, I'll have you come down, Ed, and we'll swear you in. Raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Edmund Sexton,
Have been appointed to the office
having been appointed to the office
of the Economic Development Advisory Board
of the Economic Development Advisory Board
in the Village of Orland Park,
of the Village of Orland Park,
in the counties of Cook and Will, aforesaid,
in the counties of Cook and Will, as said,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of the Economic Development Advisory Board
of the office of the Economic Development Advisory Board
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my abilities.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Really pulling one out of it, right?
It's gross. Dennis has got the good stuff. It's just, this is stuff is.
I got it. I'm good. Thanks.
Is that Angie Sexton? Is that Angie Sexton?
Go ahead.
Accounts payable from October 2020 to November 2nd, 2020.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Healy.
I move to approve the accounts payable from October 20th, 2020 to November 2nd, 2020 in the amount of $4,395,736.88.
Second.
Any questions? Call the roll.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Dodge?
Aye.
Trustee Fenton?
Aye.
Trustee Calandrello?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye.
Consent agenda.
Consent agenda. Item A, payroll for October 16, 2020 approval. Item B, Orland Park Heroes Banner Program. Item C, CPAC vertical turbine pump replacement. Item D, building automation system upgrades rejection. Item E, Sportsplex LED lighting upgrades. Item F, Hay & Associates plan review and landscape architect services contract amendment. I'll entertain a motion to approve items A through F of the consent agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Trustee Fenton?
Aye.
Trustee Dodge?
Aye.
Trustee Calangelo?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye.
Park fence installations.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Fenton.
move to approve waiving the bid process and move to approve the proposal submitted by K Brothers Fence, Inc. of Mokina, Illinois for the installation and fencing of Eagle Ridge 3 Parkview Estates Communal Rail, Wedgewood Estates Parks for the amount not to exceed $23,834.
Second.
Any questions, comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Fenton?
Aye.
Trustee Calangelo?
Aye.
Trustee Dodge?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye.
Public Works and bulk material storage for facility fence installations.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Fenton.
move to approve the waiving and bid process and move to approve the proposal submitted by America's Backyard Fencing and Decking of Joliet, Illinois for the installation of fencing at Public Works facility in an amount not to exceed $40,924. And, whoops, I move to approve a proposal submitted by American Backyard Fencing and, and Decking of Joliet, Illinois for the installation of fencing and gates at 108th Avenue Bulk Material Transfer Storage Facility in an amount not to exceed $49,880.
Second.
Any comments? The only thing I'll add, I didn't say on the last one, but there's one more of these coming up, is that we had given a complete fencing RFP out there for all of these, and we only got one bid back. By breaking them up into separate types of fencing, we got much better pricing, and we got many more people to come out and bid on, and give us bids on this. So we didn't go out for an RFP, but we did go out and get separate bids and quotes. Call the roll.
Trustee Fenton?
Aye.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Trustee Dodge?
Aye.
Trustee Calangelo?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye.
Cultural Arts Center HVAC upgrades.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Fenton.
move to approve the waiving of the bid process and approve accepting the proposal for the Cultural Arts Center HVAC upgrade turnkey proposal from CTS Group of Chicago, Illinois in an amount not to exceed $89,975.
Second.
Any questions, comments?
Mr. Chairman?
Trustee Healy.
Can I have a couple questions on this. It seems like, I thought it was pretty loose proposal, that when they talk about budgeting something, that's just an open door for extras to be added. I thought it lacked a little technical language, and I was just wondering, CTS does not self-perform this contract, is my understanding, that they're going to sub it out to someone else. Do we have any idea what their markup is? Is it 5% or 50%?
So Joe will kind of talk about this a little bit, but CTS, a couple years ago, the village board approved a contract with CTS as an ESCO. It's a program, it's a guaranteed energy savings program. This is actually the last project that CTS will be doing under that program. So Joel, the last thing is they do get 3 proposals. They do get 3 quotes for this. Joel, if you can just talk about the project a little bit.
Yes, the project actually came to us kind of in an emergency situation at the Cultural Arts Center. The HVAC actually broke down on us on the east side of the building. They actually, CTS would be performing the engineering aspect of this, as well as the construction with the 3 bids that George had mentioned. So once they get the bids from their subs, they'll choose the lowest of the bids, and then they'll perform the work within that. And they've done that bidding process, and that's why they gave that figure.
But it's up to them to decide who that subcontract goes to.
It's always the lowest of the 3.
Okay, thanks.
And this is the last time we're using CTS as an ESCO. Eventually, maybe we come back with a new RFP for an ESCO, but going forward, we're going to just standardize the process and just follow the regular specs bid process.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions or comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Fenton?
Aye.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Trustee Dodge?
Aye.
Trustee Calendro?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
No.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye. And if you don't mind, does anybody mind if we move the Orland Parks Veteran Classic, since we have a lot of the vets out here tonight, if we move them forward?
You want to amend the agenda?
If you could call those, it's on the village manager's report.
You want to move that up to now?
Yes. You ready?
Yeah. 2020 Orland Park Veterans Golf Classic, distribution of proceeds.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Katsinas.
I move to approve donating the proceeds from the Orland Park Veterans Golf Classic to the above specified organizations in the amount as referenced herein.
Second.
Any questions or comments? I want to thank all the organizations for the great work they did again, and Daryl and the Veterans Commission for doing great work, because obviously with COVID, this was a challenging year to do the golf outing, and we still did extremely well, did better actually than the ones that were done a few years ago. So the veterans really stepped up still and did a great job of raising money for themselves as well, but they really pitched in and helped and did a phenomenal job. So thank you very much for that effort. And now I'm going to come down and give you guys various, Daryl's going to give
you a little update.
Okay.
Yeah, good evening. Daryl Wertheim, Village of Orland Park Veterans Program Assistant. The mayor's golf outing began in the 60s. In 2018, Mayor Keith Pekow reassigned the golf outing to the Orland Park Veterans Commission, with proceeds going to support local military veterans groups. I am proud to say that over the last 3 years, over $55,000 has been raised and it's distributed to local veterans groups. This year, the Veterans Golf Classic was played at Silver Lakes Golf Course at Orland Park last September 29th, with 98 golfers participating. 100% of the $18,000 net proceeds will be distributed tonight to 3 Orland Park veterans groups. They are the Orland Park Payless VFW Post 2604, American Legion Orland Memorial Post 111, and the Veterans Voices Military Group of Orland Park. On behalf of the Orland Park Veterans Commission, I would like to thank Mayor Pekow, our trustees, our village clerk, and the village managers for your support. Thank you very much. Special thank you to the Village of Orland Park Recreation Park Department, Mr. Ray Piatoni, Director, for all your help to make the 2020 Veterans Golf Classic a success. Let me introduce the 2020 Veterans Golf Classic Committee. Besides myself, Dale Carver, Chairman of the Orland Park Veterans Commission, Mr. Jim Thompson, member of the Orland Park Veterans Commission, and Doreen Vila, Special Events Manager, Orland Park Recreation Department. Thank you for the many months of hard work, but fun work. Thank you very much. Thanks to all the volunteers that helped on and off the course. I would like to mention a few dozen sponsors for their generous donation and support. They are Comcast, Grand Appliances of Orland Park, Colonial Chapel of Orland Park, Klein, Thorpe & Jenkins Limited, V3 Companies, Alden Estates, April Chevrolet, Joe Rizza Ford, Bettenhausen Dodge and Jeep, Elevator Inspection Service, Mayor Keith Pekow, Trustees of the Village of Orland Park, Silver Lakes Golf Course, Home Depot of Orland Park, Lowe's of Orland Park, and Nothing But Bun Cakes of Orland Park. Thank you very much. Save the date, the 2021 Orland Park Veterans Golf Classic has been set for Tuesday, August 31st at Silver Lakes Golf Course in Orland Park. I would like to ask the leaders of the 3 participating Orland Park military groups to step forward to receive your checks. Please stand to be recognized and step forward. Also joined by the members, come on up, also joined by the members of the Orland Park Veterans Commission. Come on up.
I'll call you guys up one at a time for each group so we can appreciate it, okay? So first, VFW Post 2604. Yeah, so I'd like to present this check for $5,850. VFW Post. Now we have the American Legion Post 111. $5,350 to the American Legion folks. And now Faith United Methodist Church Veterans Voices. $6,800. All 3 years you've done phenomenal. Obviously, we've raised $55,000, so we look forward to doing it again next year.
Sounds good.
Thanks.
Thank you all the Veterans Group for all the hard work you do to help support veterans in our community. Thank you very much.
That's why they came up.
Hey, Daryl, did you want a picture with all of the entire commission? Yeah. We can do that. Okay, come on. Come on up. Sorry about that. Thanks, Kathy.
Let me see those baby pictures. Baby pictures.
A chair.
Baby pictures. Put your phone down.
That's what I've done it. Okay.
Good catch. Good job. You're welcome.
I touch my face all the time. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Katsinas? We never did roll call for that.
Okay. Call the roll.
Katsinas?
Aye.
Malani?
Aye.
Fenton?
Aye.
Dodge? Aye. Trustee Calandrello?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Sorry.
Again.
Mayor Pico?
Aye.
Hope Covenant Church ordinance for a special use permit for overnight sleeping accommodations as an accessory use to a place of worship.
Mr. Chairman?
Trustee Malani.
Finishing up.
Tim? This one.
Trustee Healy.
Oh, Trustee Healy? Oh, sorry.
Echo.
Can't hear where it's coming from.
Okay. Can I have an ordinance number, John?
5552.
I move to pass ordinance number 5552 entitled Ordinance Granting a Special Use for Overnight Sleeping Accommodations, Shelter as an Accessory Use to a Place of Worship, Hope Covenant Church, 14401 West Avenue.
Second.
Any comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Calandrello?
Aye.
Trustee Fenton?
Aye.
Trustee Dodge?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye.
Hope Covenant Church ordinance amending the Land Development Code, Section 6-209B, to allow for overnight sleeping accommodations, shelter as an accessory use to a place of worship.
Mr. Chairman?
Trustee Healy.
John, can I have another ordinance number?
5553.
I move to pass ordinance number 5553 entitled, An Ordinance Amending the Land Development Code of the Village of Orland Park as amended, Section 6-209B.
Second.
Any questions or comments? So the other thing I'll comment now that we're on the second one here is that it's important that we keep all of our residents and visitors safe at all times, and our ordinances and codes are in place just to do that. I am very happy that Beds Plus agreed to meet all of our codes and ordinance as we originally asked, and that we could find a mutually beneficial solution that meets our desire to keep visitors as safe as our residents, and at the same time, Beds Plus' important mission to help those in need. This completes our commitment, that's what both of these were, to do just that. I want to thank Beds Plus as well as staff for your your diligence in working through these issues, so thank you very much. Call the roll.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Fenton.
Aye.
Trustee Dodge.
Aye.
Trustee Calandrello.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
An ordinance authorizing the Dine Orland Park program.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Malani.
I move to approve ordinance number 5554 entitled An Ordinance Authorizing the Dine Orland Park Program.
Second.
And we'll turn it over first to a little advertisement we've put together, a little video.
No,
Hope it
Where's the
sounds
sound?
better.
sounds broken.
That doesn't sound very good.
No.
Doesn't sound very merry.
No, it doesn't.
Nope.
Well, I guess we won't hear the video. Trust us, it's a little bit better music than that, right, Nubia?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's make sure when it gets posted that it's not making that noise. It's a really nice picture of our Christmas lights. Any comments?
Mr. Chairman?
Trustee Fenton.
A couple questions for staff. When we purchase a Visa gift card, we're using taxpayer dollars to purchase these cards through our funds, and we have to pay a surcharge or a fee for the Visa gift cards. Why aren't we purchasing gift cards from restaurants in the Village of Orland Park to make sure that the $10 gift card goes back into the community instead of purchasing a gift card that we have to pay extra for, plus that money then, that $10 can just walk out and go to a community wherever?
Sure, I think,
Going to show that?
well, so the Visa...
I know what a Visa gift card is.
No, but how they're designed.
Oh.
It doesn't, my point is, we're using taxpayer dollars to fund this, and we're paying extra because it's a Visa gift card.
Correct.
Where we could have purchased gift cards from mom and pop businesses in town to keep the money in town.
I mean, that is an option. What we're doing here is we're giving the ultimate flexibility to the folks. So the $10 Visa gift card in this situation can be used at any establishment in Orland Park. If we did the mom and pop gift cards, we would be designating where they can only use it.
I know, but they can also use that in Mokina, they can use it in Palos, they can use it in Tinley, they can use it in Wisconsin.
Sure. What we do when we get this, when we give the cards, we really encourage them to reuse those in Orland Park. Again, I think it'd be very difficult to administer a program where we would be picking one restaurant over another for their gift cards. So that Kevin can talk about this. We saw our first program, we saw a lot of reuse of the Visa gift cards in Orland Park. So when we tracked, when folks were issued these, we saw a high percentage, and I don't know what the percentage is.
And what's the percentage we're paying on the gift card?
It's $5 a card.
So the $10 card is costing us $15.
Yep. So this whole program really is, remember, the whole point of this program, and especially now with this Dine one, is to really encourage folks to dine in Orland Park. They have options, and there is a cost to this card, but it's really a promotion and a marketing program. What we really are trying to do is support those businesses right now, and especially with the challenges that they have.
Right, but we would be supporting them more if we were purchasing gift cards from them and giving those away.
Yeah, I just don't know how we would be able to administer something like that. I mean, with all of the different restaurants, I don't know if...
We would be picking the winners and losers in that case.
And it's not just... The $10 gift card, obviously, is not just to use it back at another restaurant. We want them to use it anywhere in Orland Park.
I mean, I'm all for supporting our businesses and doing this. I just think there would have been a better way, more economical way to show the taxpayers that we're being fiscally responsible with their money. So the $10 costing us $15, and it can be spent anywhere. Just a thought.
Sure, absolutely. Okay.
Any other questions or comments?
Mayor Pico?
Trustee Dodge?
So George, the total program is about 400 grand,
No, that's how much we have available.
but theoretically, we could use it all for this project.
Theoretically, we could. When we did our summer programs, the actual, the shop portion of it, I believe was $22,000. It was the vehicle portion of it was, I believe, $120,000.
Right,
So
no
the shop
surprise.
portion of it at a $30 gift card was about $22,000.
So if I heard you earlier, we don't know what percent of these cards were then spent in Orland? You
I
don't
think
have
we
that
do know
data
that.
from Visa? You don't have that data from,
We don't have it right now.
you don't have it right now?
Correct.
Is the number available? We just don't have it tonight, or the number's not available?
We will have to reach out to the Visa gift card provider. They can track some of the cards and determine where generally they are spent, where they generally were spent.
See, I guess my comment and simply this. We should all support our local businesses, but this project is going to potentially send taxpayer dollars directly out of Orland, and that's not necessarily something I'm comfortable with. I would be comfortable if we wanted to increase the spend on marketing to bring attention to Orland Park businesses, or to find a way to take the $400,000 of money that's in the bank now and find more direct ways to subsidize our businesses, as opposed to try to induce demand and then give incentive that when that $10 can walk out of the village. So I'm not against, and I want to be emphatically clear about that, supporting our local businesses, especially given how hard hit restaurants are. And I don't think anybody in Orland Park wants us just to become another town full of only chains, right? So there's an incentive here to try and support local businesses. I just think there's perhaps more direct ways to do this.
Any other questions or comments? So this program was successful before. It did spur sales. It's basically the same program. It's just we're just using it for restaurants, given what's happening currently. That 400,000, there's still plenty available. So if other people have good ideas, more than willing to hear those. But this seems to be something that has worked in the past and was supported by the board in the past. So see no reason why we shouldn't continue it. It's clear that the restaurant industry has been singled out during this pandemic. They were the last industry to be opened back up, 1 month later than almost every other business, and have recently been singled out for closures of indoor dining, which the outdoor seating at this time of year, really, it makes me wonder if those making the decisions actually live in Illinois during the winter, because it's pretty cold to be eating outside. These decisions haven't been based on science or data. Outbreak tracing indicates that approximately 1% of cases are traced back to restaurants. So the question we asked is, what can we do here? We've already done a 3-month tax sharing program for small businesses to help our independent restaurants, and a shop and dine Orland program just like this. Like you mentioned, it was auto and shop and dine. In this case, it's focused only on dining to encourage our residents and visitors to continue to eat at and or order takeout from our restaurants. So business owners here, their employees, residents, and visitors will all benefit from this program. So I think it's a good program. We have a fund set aside for, this came out of our low interest loan fund with a lot of money sitting in it. And we've used just a fraction of that so far, so I think it's a good idea. Call the roll.
Mr. Mayor, I was going to have a comment.
Well, call the roll.
We want to be respectful and not interrupt you, but okay.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Trustee Fenn?
Aye.
Trustee Dodge?
Aye.
Trustee Calendaro?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye.
Angelo Caputo's Fresh Markets Inducement Agreement.
Mr. Chairman?
Trustee Malani?
I move to approve a sales tax sharing inducement agreement with Angelo Caputo's Fresh Market as outlined above and to be incorporated into their final development agreement pending approval of the zoning, special use, and building permits.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Mayor Pico,
Trustee Dodge?
question for George. So George, looks like in the board packet we've made some evolution, but do you know what the reduction in permit fees and related fees are? Last time we talked about one of these agreements, which, you know, they make sense to try and continue business investment in Orland, so I certainly support that, but I'd also ask for some additional clarity on the total value of the incentive package.
It's in the supplement. It's $10,000.
That's the total of all the reductions in the fees.
Yep, the commercial impact program is estimated to save project approximately $10,000.
And that includes the 25, so those two lines work together, the 25% reduction in permit fees? Am I reading this correct?
That's correct.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments? It's great to have another business filling a vacancy so quickly, and not only taking the space, but also planning on an expansion to go with it, so that's great for Orland Park. This is another performance-based incentive. While the village shares back some sales tax, this is way better than having a vacant store with no sales tax. As I heard from another CEO in another industry last week, it's those incentives that are keeping us competitive with neighboring counties and states, because we're in Cook County and because we're in the state of Illinois. The sound fiscal decisions we've made over the last 2 years, eliminating over $40 million in debt and reducing our operating budget by over 13%, not only avoided the catastrophe that was looming because of COVID and because of the can being kicked down the road for the last decade, but also put the village in a position to assist businesses that are looking to come to the village, which is what we're doing here. This speaks volumes about the business-friendly climate here in Orland Park. It also shows how we've changed the culture to respond quickly to market needs, as it took, less than a week to put this together. So George and staff, great work on this. I also want to thank the Presta family who came out tonight. Welcome to Orland Park. And we're going to vote, and then I'll ask you when you're going to open, and you can come up and speak. Call the roll.
Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Trustee Fenton?
Aye.
Trustee Dodge?
Aye.
Trustee Gondrella?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye. Thanks for coming to Orland.
They've abandoned me. They're all over there in the corner. We're very pleased to be in Orland. We've been in business since 1958. It says the Presta family, but it's the Caputo family. I married a Caputo. It's my wife back there. I started working at the store when I was 13 years old. It's our family business, and we've both been working at the store. Her father is still Angelo Caputo, and he's around the stores. He's 88 years old now and still going around. And we are, for all these years, we've been in Elmwood Park right at Harlem and Grand. And we've had customers from when I can remember saying, can you come out to Orland Park? Can you come out to Orland Park? Because we don't have anything like this here. And very nervous to pull this trigger now under the current situation and the climate that we're in. But we feel strong in what we do. We know that there was a backing, and we feel comfortable doing it. Again, the opportunity came up, and like the mayor had said, I'd like to, we've been doing this, it's been 1958, I've been involved for over 40 years now, and I've never had a meeting with any village official on a Thursday and been on the agenda on Monday. So hats off to your crew. They really went above and beyond, and they came out to our facility and saw what we did, and we're real excited to bring it to Orland.
We're happy to have you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Well, congratulations.
Thanks.
You still didn't tell me when you're going to open. Oh.
We're shooting for, within 6 months. There's a lot of work we have to do to turn it into a Caputo's, but we're hoping to push it and get it done, hopefully within 6 months.
Great. Great. We're looking forward to it.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
No pressure, though.
Athletic field fence installations.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Malani.
I move to approve waiving the bid process, and I move to approve America's Backyard Fencing and Decking of Joliet, Illinois for the installation of fencing at Village Square Park, Ishnala Woods Parks, and the John Humphrey Complex for an amount not to exceed $99,020.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Mr. Mayor?
Trustee Calandrello.
I just have a quick question regarding the Village Square fencing. We spent a lot of money with those fields with the flooding. They hold water often by design and expand that lake. So this is not going to mess up any of the drainage issues or anything like that? Or do we look into that? And if so, is it going to affect any of those issues?
I think I could take, these are chain link fences, so they won't affect drainage. They're not solid.
You're correct, Mayor.
Okay.
Any other comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Calandrello.
Aye.
Trustee Fenton.
Aye.
Trustee Dodge.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Municipal Financial Advisory Services request for proposals.
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Malani.
I move to accept the proposal from PMA Securities LLC of Naperville, Illinois, and to authorize the village manager to authorize the necessary contracts and documents.
Second.
Any questions, comments?
Mayor Peacock?
Trustee Dodge.
Question for George. So George, I look at a couple of questions. I look at the tabulation spreadsheet, and it looks like all three bidders were respondent. Is that correct?
That's correct.
So did this come down to a price decision?
This came down to, price is obviously a very important. It also came down to experience and the services that they're going to be able to provide. PMA is very well regarded in this industry. We have a lot of unique refinancing and financing that's going to happen, and we're very confident that they're going to be able to assist in that process.
Why did we go out to an RFP broadly for this type of service?
There hasn't been one done since '97, so we've had the same FA financial advisor since that point, and this was with a new finance director, new finance team, as they're digging and reviewing all of our different debt obligations. We knew that we needed to do this a little bit differently, and so we're going to bring in a fresh set of eyes.
All right, and then sticking on that point, so we've done it for, I think, the engineers, and now for financial services in terms of we've had long-running vendors in place, so you guys thought it was best practice to go out for a bid, go talk to the market?
You know, that is a best practice when something, especially when something is not necessarily working. And this is a situation where when we're looking through our, like I said, our debt obligations, what we were doing in the past wasn't working, so we needed a fresh set of eyes.
Can you tell me what wasn't working, George?
We were doing a lot of lines of credit. We were doing term loans. That is not a best practice.
Okay, well, that wasn't what we were told by the finance director at the time, so I see your point. I guess, George, I'll make a formal request then, since we're doing this for the engineers and for finance, because we've had them around for a while, I think we should go for formal RFP on our legal services as well. If I'm not mistaken, Klein, Thorpe, and Jenkins been serving the village for a while, but under the same logic of it's best practice to go out and take a look at the marketplace, I think we should do that for legal.
So yeah, it is a good practice, but when something's working, in this case, Klein, Thorpe, and Jenkins is working for us.
I have a different perspective on that, George, so we're going to have to talk about that perhaps at a committee of the whole.
Well, it's probably not the appropriate time to have that discussion. If you want to have the discussion, you can talk to George about it offline.
And I said we should have it at a future board of committee of the whole, Mayor Pico. So thank you for the details, George.
Sure.
Any other questions or comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Calandrello.
Aye.
Trustee Fenn?
Aye.
Trustee Dodge?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye.
Resolution encouraging use of apprenticeships to promote job training for Orland Park residents, improve workforce skills, and enhance economic vitality in Orland Park.
Mr. Mayor?
Trustee Katsinas.
John, resolution number, please.
2048.
I move to pass resolution number 2048 entitled, "A Resolution Encouraging the Use of Apprenticeships to Promote Job Training for the Orland Park Residents, Improve Workforce Skills, and Enhance Economic Vitality in Orland Park."
Second.
Any comments, questions? So the resolution is as follows. Whereas the Village of Orland Park recognizes that a well-trained, highly skilled workforce is critical to the economic future of Orland Park and is necessary to support the growth and innovation in industries such as construction, manufacturing, healthcare, telecommunications, biotechnology, information technology, energy, and transportation and logistics. And whereas the nation's industries face challenges to attract new and more diverse talent pools, replace a long-serving and experienced workforce, and close gaps in worker skills and credentials, and whereas apprenticeship training programs are particularly effective in providing training and experience to individuals seeking to enter or advance in the workforce, and whereas by advocating for increased apprenticeship utilization, the Village of Orland Park can support training and experience of Orland Park residents that will help assure that a skilled workforce will be available in sufficient numbers to undertake projects in the future, whereas skills, pre-apprenticeship, and apprenticeship programs provide significant benefits for both businesses and employees, whereas apprenticeship programs correlate to lower turnover costs, improved employee retention rates, and increased productivity, whereas the average return on investment for an apprenticeship program is $1.47 for every dollar spent, whereas skills, pre-apprenticeship, and apprenticeship programs starting in high school are vital to improve post-high school opportunities for students and out-of-school youth, whereas apprenticeships provide enrollees on-the-job training, occupation-focused education, and access to nationally recognized industry credentials, and whereas on average, apprentices earn $50,000 per year through employer-paid training programs, and whereas Cook County offers a number of property tax incentives in order to encourage private business investment, employment, and revitalization, and whereas Class 6B, 7A, 7B, 7C, and Class 8 incentives lower property tax burdens for new and expanding businesses, and whereas any applicant for or recipient of any Cook County property tax incentive under any assessment class must comply with the prevailing wage requirements, and whereas any applicant for or recipient of any Cook County property tax incentive under any assessment class must also meet certain apprenticeship program requirements, specifically contractors, subcontractors, and lessees must participate in approved apprenticeship programs when performing construction work at properties that receive a tax incentive. Now therefore be it resolved that the Village Board of the Village of Orland Park, that the village is desirous in ensuring that current and former residents of Orland Park are provided adequate opportunity to take advantage of these apprenticeship program opportunities for projects in Orland Park. Be it further resolved that the Village of Orland Park encourages any applicant for or recipient of any Cook County property tax incentive under assessment class in Orland Park to prioritize current and former Orland Park residents, including current and former students of School District 230 and veterans, for placement into apprenticeship program opportunities for projects in Orland Park. That was a mouthful. As noted before, apprenticeships are extremely important for the development of skilled professions and trades. Businesses that take advantage of economic incentives offered by Cook County are required to use a certain number of apprenticeships for the various trade associations with construction, trades associated with construction. This resolution encourages businesses coming to Orland Park who are using these incentives to use apprentices that have graduated from District 230 high schools or are veterans. It is important that we encourage businesses that come to Orland Park to hire people from Orland Park. It is equally important that we provide training to young adults in Orland Park and neighboring towns. This will allow them to develop the skills necessary to be qualified for good-paying trade jobs. This resolution and the follow-through required after it's passed will encourage businesses coming to Orland Park to give back in a positive and meaningful way without a government mandate or more regulation. This leads to a partnership where everybody wins. Call the roll.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Calandrello.
Aye.
Trustee Fenn.
Aye.
Trustee Dodge.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
An ordinance providing for the compensation and reimbursement of certain elected officials of the Village of Orland Park, Cook, and Will counties.
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Calendro.
ordinance number, John?
5555.
Thank you. I move to approve ordinance number 5555, titled an ordinance providing for the compensation and reimbursement of certain elected officials of the Village of Orland Park, Cook, and Will counties, Illinois.
Second.
It was passed. On October 18th, Trustee Calandrello sent an inquiry to our village manager, George, in light of the COVID budget constraints, which we currently faced, to look into lowering pay for trustees. George then shared it with the board late on October 19th, so after our last board meeting. I read it. I thought it was a good idea. So I added it to this meeting's agenda because after following up with Attorney Walsh, it was clear that any changes that would impact the next election would need to be done at tonight's meeting. Staff provided the research on the pay history indicating that trustee's salary was last raised for the 2015 term. Prior to that, it was raised in 2004. That 2004 pay raise is the same as what the mayor's new salary will be in the term beginning in 2021. Therefore, it made sense to reduce the trustee's pay to that same time period. The clerk's pay was another matter, and now that the responsibilities of FOIAs, the minutes and agendas are managed by the village manager, the clerk has few responsibilities, certainly not more than the trustees. Therefore, it made sense for the clerk's pay to be reduced to the same as the trustees. So that's the background on this. Any comments?
Mayor Pecan?
Trustee Dodge.
Question for Trustee Calandrello. What was your intent when you brought this up?
Mr. Mayor? I think my intent was sorry.
So that's out of order. There's no reason to ask him his intent. He can answer it later if he would like, but that's not.
All right. Mayor Pecan?
Trustee Dodge.
I move to amend this motion to also set the pay for the office of the mayor at a rate of $30,376 per annum.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Can you repeat the number, please?
$30,376 per year.
Any comments?
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Katsinas.
correct me if I'm wrong, we already voted previously to lower the salary from 150 to 40,000, is that correct?
Yes, the previous board did that.
Okay, but now didn't we vote prior to lower the mayor's salary back to 40,000?
Say again?
Didn't we vote previously at another meeting to lower your salary?
We did not. The previous board they raised the pay to 150,000 prior to my arriving here. Then they lowered the pay to 40,000 prior to you arriving here.
Okay.
Which is the same 2004 amount that the trustees are being lowered to.
So the figures that we were given are all 2004?
All 2004, including the current pay that the mayor is reduced to, 40,000 plus 3,000 liquor license fee.
Okay.
Or liquor fee.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Call the roll on amending the mayor's pay down to 30,300 and how much? $336.
$30,376. Ready?
$30,376.
$30,376. Call the roll on that amendment.
Trustee Dodge?
Aye.
Trustee Fenn?
Aye.
Trustee Calandrello?
Aye.
Trustee Healy?
No.
Trustee Katsinas?
No.
Trustee Malani?
No.
Mayor Pico?
No. Any other comments?
Mr. Mayor?
Trustee Calandrello.
So just to answer the question, I know that we're going to have a tight budget cycle. That's why I put this offer out there. We're not sure exactly how tight it's going to be because we don't have a budget meeting until, I think, next Monday, I think is our first. We have two. So we usually have it a little bit earlier, but that's why I offered it. It was a 25% cut, so hopefully we're somewhere close to what the budget cuts are going to be, if any, on the next year. So that's why I like it. That's 25%. Hopefully we don't have to take that big of a haircut for our staff, but I thought it'd be good for us as examples to do that. That's why I proposed it. That's why the 25% number, whoever, I don't think I put a number to it, but that was a good number, whoever put it up to it. So 25% of the salary you would receive, so.
It was just back to the 2004 levels, which matched the level that I was already at. So that's what it was for. That's how it was arrived at.
Thank you. I just want to put some history behind it. Thanks, Mr. Mayor.
And any other comments?
Mr. Chairman?
Trustee Malani?
Initially, this was a bit of a surprise when it came up, but I'm definitely behind this change because clearly, I don't think I'm in this for the money. It's really more about what's doing right for the Village of Orland Park. We've already eliminated the pensions. The previous board lowered the mayoral salary. So really, this makes sense and it's the next logical step. So I'm behind this.
Mr. Mayor?
Trustee Healy?
I am also behind it. I agree with Mike on everything he said. Also, in private industry, many people have taken a COVID haircut and it got laid off from jobs. But I mean, this would be hand in hand with that. I have no problem, accepting this. It's a small sacrifice for the times.
Mayor Pico?
Trustee Dodge?
The number I came up with was 25%, which is the original intent of what Trustee Calandrello wanted to raise. How the numbers were originally derived in 2004, in my opinion, is utterly irrelevant. If we're going to make a shared sacrifice, then everybody's in on it. It was that simple, hence my amendment.
Yep, sure, that's it. Any other comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Calandrello.
Aye.
Trustee Fenn.
Aye.
Trustee Dodge.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Mayor Pico.
Aye.
Resolution encouraging the General Assembly to convene to address COVID-19.
Mr. Chairman?
Trustee Malani?
I move to approve resolution number 2049 entitled Resolution Encouraging the Illinois General Assembly to Convene to Address COVID-19.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman?
Trustee Malani?
I think we're all pretty aware of the governor's actions and his continual overreach. I think every week he seems to change his targets and his goals based on his science and data. But we still haven't seen which science and data he's using that's supporting his decisions. So, we need the legislature to really step in and do their job. With this resolution, Orland Park is once again asking them to do so. So we need to stop this bleeding before this damage is permanent.
Any other comments?
Mr. Mayor?
Trustee Calandrello?
At this time, based on some facts, I'd like to make amendment striking paragraph 24 and 25, which is the last two paragraphs on page 3.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Any comments?
Mr. Mayor?
Trustee Calandrello?
The reason why I'm making these two is that there's not accurate statements, and as we all know, Judge Andrea Wood will confirm that those statements, she confirmed those statements on August 1st that they were inaccurate, that these statements are inaccurate. There was no constitutional violation, and the judge set forth a rational basis. That's the legal standard, a rational relationship. The village filed a lawsuit in federal court, which was, I agree, was the best format for a favorable outcome, and the federal judge, not elected, who needed to be retained by the voters, said the government actions were constitutional and rational related to public health, which is the legal standard. And I'm making the motion to take this out because it's not accurate.
Any other comments?
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Katsinas?
could I have our council view on this?
Attorney Walsh?
I'm assuming you would like me to comment on Trustee Calandrello's last statement.
That is correct.
The decision of the judge wasn't based on what Trustee Calandrello said in the terms of she didn't get to the issue of whether or not it was constitutional or not. There was a simple motion for a temporary restraining order, which was denied. The exact merits of the lawsuit in its entirety were not fully addressed because the village had decided it was going to withdraw the case.
Mr. Chairman?
Trustee Katsinas.
So, counsel, in your opinion, this is a statement we could make with some accuracy?
I think at this point, there is a legitimate issue as to whether or not the governor has the authority that he's exercising, yes.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Who's that?
Mr. Mayor,
Trustee Calandrello.
I just would refer to page 11, 12, 13, 14, which, and I'm not going to read it, of the decision, which in summary relates that there was a real and rational relationship to the public health method, and that found that this was not a constitutional violation, and even way at that time. So I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's public. I have a copy if anyone wants it, but I disagree with the generalization, Mr. Walsh's generalization of the judicial opinion, and there has not been a court that has ruled that it was unconstitutional. It hasn't gone up the chain yet. So I stand by my comments.
Any other comments on the amendment? Call the roll on striking these two paragraphs.
Trustee Calandrello.
Aye.
Trustee Trustee Fenton.
Aye.
Trustee Dodge.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Nay.
Trustee Katsinas.
No.
Trustee Malani.
No.
Mayor Pico.
No. Any other comments?
Mr. Mayor?
Trustee Calandrello.
This time I seek to make a motion to amend section, last page, section 6, second to last sentence that reads, as a comparison, in DuPage County, COVID-19 outbreaks originating at restaurants account for 1.2% of total cases. I move to strike and amend, strike that out of the section, please.
Oh, second.
Any comments?
Mr. Mayor?
Trustee Calandrello.
I move to strike the last sentence because it's misleading. The facts in DuPage County is that they only have been able to track 15% of the 22,000 cases. So the 1.2% transmissions in restaurant is only based on 15% of the cases. So there is more than, there's by simple math, 85% of the cases with the original unknown. I mean, simply, they don't have a good social tracking to figure out exactly the cause of these. The lead doctor in DuPage County Health Department highlighted this point, and that said that this is misleading and it's being misused. Again, if we're going to pass something that's going to go up and speaks for Village of Orland Park, it should be factual and not misleading. That's why I make the amendment.
Any other comments?
Are we commenting on the main motion, Mayor Pico?
We're commenting on the amended motion.
Thank you.
Any other comments on the amended motion?
Mayor Pico, excuse me.
Trustee Dodge.
I would just add that there's a lot of language in here that could be best described as unproductive because it's
That's not about this amendment, so what about this particular amendment you would
Well,
like
it
to
felt like an
comment on?
important comment to me. Thank you for your time.
Any other comments on this amendment as we discussed? Call the roll.
Trustee Calandrello.
Aye.
Trustee Fenton.
Aye.
Trustee Dodge.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
No.
Trustee Katsinas.
No.
Trustee Malani.
No.
Mayor Pico.
Nope. Motion fails. Any other comments on the original motion?
Mr. Mayor?
Trustee Calandrello.
Again, Mr. Mayor, I move to strike the word again in the title. First page.
Again in the title. Do I hear a second? Motion fails for lack of a second.
I said second.
Did you? Did you second? I didn't hear you.
Sorry.
Okay. Any comments on this amendment?
Mr. Mayor?
Trustee Calandrello.
This is the reason why I made the amendment, was this is an official statement from the Village of Orland Park. And the words "again" in the title, I believe, is improper and is full of sarcasm and attempt, which does not reflect well on the village or its leadership.
Mr. Mayor?
Trustee Healy.
I think that the word "again" represents the fact that the governor's not listening to us. He doesn't really, in my opinion, it's just my opinion that they don't really care too much about the people that live in this state and work in this state and produce the taxes in this state. I think that the word "again" kind of emphasizes our frustration with dealing with this and a lot of issues with COVID-19. The title of this resolution is encouraging the Illinois General Assembly to convene to address COVID-19. All these little details are annoying. We're just passing something that represents our frustration, to me, in dealing with the state of Illinois. I would leave the word "again" in there and any other words to emphasize their General Assembly and the governor's lack of addressing these issues.
Any other comments? Call the roll on this amendment.
Trustee Calandrello.
Aye.
Trustee Fenton.
Aye.
Trustee Dodge.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
Nope.
Trustee Katsinas.
No.
Trustee Malani.
No.
Mayor Pico.
Nope. Motion fails, 4-3. Any other comments?
Mr. Mayor?
More filibustering. Let's go.
Mr. Mayor?
Trustee Calandrello.
At this time, I will make a amendment to paragraph 15, which I believe is on page 2, striking the word "unlisted" from that paragraph.
Can you?
Could he repeat what he said?
At this, striking "unrealistic" to paragraph 15.
Second.
Any comments on this?
Mr. Mayor?
Trustee Calandrello.
The reason why I made this amendment is, yes, we're in a fight against COVID-19. It has killed many people, 230,000 people in the U.S. We've met the criteria in the past to open again, and we'll meet it again if we follow the guidelines, if we follow the science before it. And I made these amendments because I truly believe this is a statement that we're putting the world out, and it shouldn't be full of some of these things. Thank you. And they're not details.
Any other comments? So, just so you know, we can go at this all night if you'd like, but unrealistic, it is definitely unrealistic to expect that this is going to be eradicated before we move on to phase 5. That's not going to happen. We've eradicated one virus in all of human history. That was smallpox, took a couple hundred years, so completely unrealistic. Call the roll on the amendment.
Trustee Calandrello.
Aye.
Trustee Fenton.
Aye.
Trustee Dodge.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
No.
Trustee Katsinas.
No.
Trustee Malani.
No.
Mayor Pico.
No. Amendment fails. Any other comments?
Mr. Mayor?
Trustee Calandrello.
I move to strike paragraph 22, which is on page 3.
Do I hear a second?
Oh, second.
Any comments?
Mr. Mayor?
Trustee Calandrello.
I struck this paragraph because it is misleading. It's in the paragraph, it attempts to compare indoor dining in the summer, where almost all restaurants had outdoor options in limited capacity, versus indoor during dining in the cold winter, where there's no open seating and no air circulation. The science has shown that the virus spreads faster in cold weather and dry conditions. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about other options for our restaurants in the dine-in section of our meeting today. So again, these are not details. These are facts presenting to the public as spoken by 60+ thousand residents of Orland Park. Thank you.
Any other comments? Call the roll.
Trustee Calandrello.
Aye.
Trustee Fenton.
Aye.
Trustee Dodge.
Aye.
Trustee Healy.
No.
Trustee Katsinas.
No.
Trustee Malani.
No.
Mayor Pico.
No. Motion fails, 4-3. Any other comments?
Hey, Bill, I need this wire.
Any other comments? I'll make my comments before we call the roll on this. These are the same comments I made, for the most part, to the Mayor's Caucus the other night, and the Mayor's Caucus we're working on taking action. Of course, it takes a while with 170 plus members, but pretty much everyone in agreement based on that call, including Chicago. We're all aware that the governor's recent actions place targeted shutdowns on restaurants. We're also aware that cases are going up all over the state and across most of the country. Everyone here agrees, everyone, that COVID is serious and we need to keep people safe. However, we also must know that this is a virus. We're not going to end it. We do have to learn how to live with it and manage ourselves around dealing with it. Most importantly, all of us recognize that without a vibrant economy, we cannot keep people safe, nor can we keep them healthy. Here in Orland Park, we have shown that businesses can be open and events can be held safely with modifications. The governor's most recent actions targeting restaurants specifically are not supported by data. If they were, he would share it. Not to mention, he targeted restaurants only for indoor dining, but indoor gaming, that's okay. It is true that there is a recent increase in COVID cases, as we discussed. However, restaurants have been open since June 26. Since that time, according to IHME, mask usage and social distancing has stayed consistent. Yet cases didn't start increasing rapidly until October. If it were because of restaurants, logically it would have happened much sooner. So what is the cause? It is entirely possible that there isn't a cause, or that we cannot control the cause the way we may want to. We are human, and it's a virus, and we humans do not have a great track record of controlling viruses, especially new ones. Rather than targeting an industry as the culprit, we should use the data and science to determine the real cause. Since the very beginning of this, since April, we've been asking the governor to share the data and science he is using to make these decisions. The data that is shared on the IDPH site and the Cook County DPH site do not support these decisions. 2 weeks ago, we found out that IDPH has an outbreak reporting system to track cases by source. As Trustee Calandrello pointed out, they can't track every outbreak, but they can track a big enough sample size to understand what's going on. In DuPage County, 1.2% are from restaurants, according to a mistakenly released document from a FOIA to a news agency, it is 1% statewide. And Chicago indicates that they have a few out of over 400 identified outbreaks. Why is this information not being shared with us all? Also, over 77% of identified outbreaks in DuPage and 52% of deaths statewide are from long-term care facilities. Yet we opened those earlier than was originally planned. The next highest outbreaks are prisons. The correlation, the responsibility for oversight on both long-term care facilities and prisons is the state. The state should focus on doing its job and on protecting our vulnerable seniors and our long-term care facilities rather than targeting the restaurant industry or any other industry capriciously. Recently, I learned that the governor is no longer communicating with the lone voice municipalities had, the Illinois Municipal League. Also, from an emergency mayor's caucus call last week, I learned that the state is now including antigen testing, which gives a lot more false positives. And for each positive antigen test, they do another PCR test. Moreover, all case positives from saliva tests at U of I are counted. Essentially, what we learned was one person can result in 3 positive cases from the IDPH in a week, which obviously is going to impact your results. I also learned, and this is really scary, that rather than using actual COVID positives for hospital capacity, the state is now using syndromic data. This means that the flu, pneumonia, and other respiratory illnesses are considered part of the COVID pandemic. To put this in perspective, and this is really important, every year our hospitals stop taking ambulances at some point because they are full due to the flu alone. With the flu being tracked now as COVID, called COVID-like, we will be shutting down our economy because of the flu. The governor's response to questions asking him to support his decisions has been to attack businesses, citizens, and elected officials. He has also, through his various agencies, made a series of threats, but he has not shared the data. Saying that you are using data and science does not mean that you actually are. Most recently, the governor responded to a question similar to that, the people of our state rely on local leaders to enforce public health guidance. There are plenty of examples of local officials setting a bad example, refusing to believe the science and misleading their constituents. No elected official I'm aware of has misled our constituents or their constituents, except the state and Cook County. We have been representing our constituents, which the governor does not like. We are our constituents' only voice because the legislature has been AWOL since March, except for 4 days. Mayors have tried to provide input to the governor and have been ignored. We know our constituents better than anyone and could have been an asset to the governor if he would have listened. He has done neither. Our board, the county board, and other village boards have been at work. It is time for the legislature to return to work and perform their constitutional duties and provide our citizens the protections they deserve from a governor who is ruling by fiat.
Mayor.
We need to do a few things. Use actual COVID numbers, not flu, which puts our hospitals on bypass every year. Unfortunately, just last week, the Cook County Department of Public Health stopped reporting COVID hospitalizations by date. This was the most accurate information available for decision making, and now it's gone and no longer being shared. Elected officials, businesses, and citizens deserve transparency. How can they make informed decisions without data? How can any of us make informed decisions without data? We do not need or want the governor to make unilateral decisions as if he is king. We need and deserve real data to answer important questions. What are the actual identifiable causes of increased cases? Is the hospital system really being threatened? What are the indicators we should really be watching? What data is being collected? What does the data really show? How accurate or inaccurate is the data? How can we make it more accurate? These are all important questions. You cannot have an honest discussion or make quality decisions without a good fact base. It is time for the legislature to demand it and the governor to provide it. Call the roll.
Mayor Peacock.
I speak last. You had your opportunities to comment. Call the roll.
Trustee Malani.
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas.
Aye.
Trustee Fenton.
No.
Trustee Dodge.
Hell no.
Trustee Calandrello.
No.
Trustee Healy.
Hell, yes.
Mayor Pico.
Yes. Motion carries 4-3.
That's all I got. God,
All
be
right.
signed in.
I'm just trying to get my iPad back up. Are there any scheduled citizens to speak? Nope. Board comments. Trustee Fenton.
Yes, I'd like to remind everybody that this Saturday is behind-the-scenes tour at the museum. It's free for members and $10 for non-members on November 13th. The Illusionist will be presenting at the museum. There's only 5 spots left. Members are $20, non-members are $25. And a reminder that everybody should look into purchasing a membership at the museum. It's $10 for individuals and $20 for members. And I'd just like to let everybody know that the Rotary, their Carl Sandburg group, will be out at the Nature Center, not this weekend, but the following weekend, doing some restoration out there. And Open Lands Commission members will also be out there helping out. It's a great program, and they're going to work on some of the invasive plants that have crept in where they were not wanted, because we're not using any fertilizer out there. And just to let you know that the birds and everybody are still there, so if you have a chance to get by the Nature Center or take a walk out at the Stellwagen Farm, get out there.
Trustee Dodge.
Thank you, Mayor Peacock. I have a number of questions for George. If not tonight, then shortly. Will you get me the total cost of the litigation on Hope Covenant Church? Okay. Second, sign ordinance enforcement. All right. Clearly, we've tried to go to an interesting corner to be supportive of our local businesses, to be fairly lenient on signs, but a lot of things that are expressly prohibited, are starting to pop back up. So what's our status for starting to, get our signs back under display in accordance with the ordinance?
So as of right now, as you stated,
We should save that for a cow. This is board comments. We shouldn't be having a dialogue.
Then I formally ask that we send that issue of sign ordinance and legal services RFP to a cow, Mr. Chairman. Continuing, to all those good folks in Orland Park and our visitors, with as we go forward in this rather trying time, obviously continue to use the utmost in caution. I think that if I wasn't cut off so quickly, Mayor Peacock, you would have found that I agreed largely with the substance of your most recent comments. I had particular disagreements with that ordinance. We all need to make the best decisions we can with the available data. I will again point out that there's increasing evidence that for those folks who do get COVID, a substantial number have long-term impacts that are not well understood, would have very serious impacts on people's health. So again, I just think everyone needs to maintain their vigilance. And, you know, in terms of that particular motion, that ordinance, there's a lot of things I don't like about the way the federal government or the state government has handled this. There's plenty of ways where I think that there has been a excess use or an immediate use of emergency authorities, and I'm frustrated with the legislature as well. My particular objection to that resolution was that type of language isn't necessarily helpful. We could have said everything that we said in your verbal comments, Mayor, in that resolution with less incendiary language, which becomes an official document of the Village of Orland Park. That's what I particularly objected to. And then I think as we go down this pathway, you know, I think you mentioned earlier, kick the can down the road. Somebody said filibuster, somebody else said annoying, and that's how it goes in debate. And we're going to have to continue to have these conversations because I would really like to understand the working definition, and I'll ask for time with George and a new finance chief to find out exactly what kick the can down the road means. Because if you're saying that we did that financially, I'll suggest that the can we kicked the road down was LaGrange. It took a lot of work and a lot of years and a lot of local money to get that road built. Throwing flame bombs at the state legislator is not an optimal strategy to get money. In fact, I think we wound up with a goose egg, otherwise known as zero, out of a $45 billion capital bill based on some of the way things have been going. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's a number of us up here that are cut from different cloths, and all of this is about how you want to handle this village going forward. Thank you.
Trustee Calangelo.
Mr. Mayor, I just want to make a couple quick comments about my votes today and COVID-19, because I don't have the opportunity to speak with the public often other than here. I'm not allowed access to the, to make videos on behalf of the village, as has been expressed to me. So I want to kind of just make some comments on this venue, because this is the only venue I have. I understand the issues of the small business, and that's why I wanted to talk more about the dine-in program. Back when this hit, I talked to the leaders up here regarding low or no interest loan programs that was rejected by the board. Now I'm going to bring it up again. $400,000 would have been very good for mom and pops, but because this is the only conversations we can have for fast actions. I can't put anything on the board floor, so. I understand the small business community and the issues they have, particularly the restaurants. I have a lot of clients who are in the restaurateurs. And even if those restaurants are open, many of those restaurants are not going to survive because of the reduced business. That's why I think we need to be a little more helpful. I'm sure we have the capital and we can do things like that, and we have $400,000 that we could have put straight to the businesses. But I support my vote that some help's better than none help. And I understand the COVID fatigue with our residents. My family and I are with you. This sucks. I understand that the ability of people to, and I also understand the ability of people to use misinformation or selective facts to fit a particular narrative for the benefit. To the residents, to the parents out there, to the moms, the dads, the grandparents, I feel the pain and your frustration. I do. However, like Americans have done in the past, we will beat this enemy, and we have to listen to advice and what science and the facts tell us. Yes, science has changed during this pandemic because we're learning from that data. That's a good thing, such as masks do protect us. Every study points that out. For example, in southern states, when they were hitting the growing numbers, and we saw the news about that, once mask mandates were in effect, numbers went down, mostly in regions where they were enforcing the mandate. Fall is here, football season is here, and the cold air is drier, again, scientific fact, which helps the spreads of airborne viruses faster. Drier air is lighter, and this virus will spread faster and farther in this condition. Again, this is the science. This is why we need to help our restaurants now through financing in open air in safe ways. I know that if you ask our carpenter friends here, they can build small huts for private dining that we could help. We could speed up the process, so we would have some outdoor eating or some safe. The whole thing is safe ways to support our businesses. The science has shown that large numbers of people who spend an extensive period of time together without masks or an accelerant to COVID-19 spread. Again, that is the science behind it. You can try to take the numbers out of context, but the science is clear. But if you do want to hear the numbers, hospitals in our regions alone, which doesn't include Chicago, which we all will agree that we should not be lumped in with Chicago, have increased by 40% in the last 7 days. 59 people a day are hospitalized from our region alone. Those are our neighbors, those are our friends. Orland Park COVID cases are growing faster than our region, so we're actually pushing our numbers up in the Cook County suburb region. We have the science to guide us on what is a high probability situation that could spread COVID quickly, and we should avoid that. Bars, restaurants among those, not retailers, because the science proves that the parents are masked in those Costco, in those Targets. You're not in constant close contact with the others in the entire time. Now, we are a regional attraction. I just hope we're not a regional attraction for exporting COVID-19. I hate this, and I hate that we're here today to talk about this in COVID-19. I'm sure none of us, when we were elected, wanted to be talking about COVID. And I also hate the political games, everyone's at fault for that are being played over this serious issue. We need to support our restaurants opening safely. We all agree to that. I wish we could do a little more for them. We need to protect our residents and the many visitors in our town. We need to do this in a productive way. Not fighting with the government leaders, but working with them, calling them, actually speaking with the state reps, speaking with the leaders. And that's what our residents expect, us to be productive leaders in our town. And that's what we need to do for our residents. Thank you.
Trustee Healy.
Across the country, there were riots in May and again in July or August or whatever. The first thing, the leaders of the local communities just gave up the retail operations to the rioters. There was no pushback against these people, and of course they came back and did it again. Why wouldn't they? You have to push back against some of these people who are trying to take your rights away, take your property, and you have to stand up to these rioters and that. And it's similarly, you have to stand up to the tyrants in federal and state government who try and take your rights away. You, by appeasing them and trying to be nice, just sometimes doesn't play in the hardball world of legislation. You have to stand up, take some courage, fight them, and if you have to gain their respect and all that, and you have to maintain your dignity. So I think that part of that resolution tonight is us standing up again to the states and trying to let them know that we are not happy with them taking our rights away, and we won't stand for it. Another thing I'd ask also for the general public is sympathy, because right now there is there's a lot of mental stress with this COVID. We've seen legislators at the state level and maybe even here tonight act erratically and draw erratic conclusions. So just please have a little sympathy for everybody and all your neighbors and that, and we'll all get through that together. So thank you.
Trustee Katsinas.
Thank you. I appreciate Trustee Calandrello's statement about talking to your state reps and legislators, but it's kind of hard to do when they've only been there 4 days since March. I think as a member of a board here, we're only one person, and we really have no power unless we're a collective group. So I agree with that. That would be the logical step to take, but it's kind of hard when they're not meeting as a group. The restaurant program that we're starting, it's awesome because it's a performance-based program. We're not giving people gift cards to randomly use. We're having them going to a restaurant, use the money, then getting a bonus for doing that, and then hopefully spending it again. So it's kind of a double win for our restaurants. And I appreciate all the amount of work that the staff has put into doing this program. I know several restaurant owners, and they are hurting. So again, if you don't want to dine in, dine out, please carry out. They need our help, whether it be the local pizza parlor, the mom and pop stores, they're really, really hurting. I also wanted to just mention Veterans Day is Wednesday, November 11th. Thank you to all the veterans that are currently serving and those who have served. You're a valuable part of our community, I think, as the golf outing and the support you have here in Orland Park. So I want to thank you for that. And I'm super excited that Caputo's is coming. In addition to Pete's Fresh Market, it's going to be a wonderful complement to the shopping we already have in Orland. So thank you again. Even the owner mentioned how quickly the staff moved. So the customer service, you guys did an awesome job on that, and thank you very much, George, Greg, and the department heads that are here. Thank you.
Trustee Malani.
Thank you. Last week I had the pleasure to attend the groundbreaking ceremony for the Sertoma Center over on Union Avenue. This facility was designed to increase housing opportunities for individuals with disabilities, and it's going to allow adults with disabilities to live more independently while receiving support through their many programs. They have job training, social support, counseling, even assistance with things like grocery shopping and bill management. And, I really enjoyed being there and talking with the people there, so I officially like to welcome them to Orland Park. Tonight, we also passed the agreement with Caputo's to quickly take over the vacant location that was going to be open. And based on what's happening, we have more to come. So I'm really looking forward to it. People and businesses still want to live, work, and play here in Orland Park. Something else, the National Drug Take-Back Initiative on Saturday, October 24th, took in 145 pounds of prescription drugs. But that was on top of the 425 pounds that they've already collected over the past 12 months. So this is once again showing how Orland Park Police Department goes above and beyond for our community and does whatever they can to help out. So we appreciate that. Most importantly, and has gone unnoted so far, is get out and vote tomorrow. Tomorrow's the big day. Early voting's been showing record attendance, so tomorrow's going to be just as big, if not bigger, so plan accordingly, dress warm. And thank you all for attending, and have a great night.
Thank you. So I'll make a few comments about what was said. So saying that facts are out of context and being shown out of context is just not accurate. And the facts are there. I haven't heard anyone yet have a actual factual disagreement with the facts that are being shown. They come from the IDPH and the CCDPH. It's what we have. It's the best information that we have available. It may not be everything we'd like, but that's all that's being shared with us. The legislatures have not been in session, as Trustee Katsina has pointed out. There have been multiple efforts to contact the governor. Multiple efforts. He hasn't, not so much as even an acknowledgement that they received our communication. So when they don't communicate with you, there's really little else. We have little other choice. The Illinois Municipal League was sitting at the table with them. We did have an avenue through them for some period of time. Unfortunately, they have been kicked out of meetings as well. So there's no one, there's no voice anymore for constituents because legislatures are not in session. And the mayors are not being listened to. So, which is why we had an emergency mayor's caucus meeting, and we are planning on taking some action as a caucus. That does take a little bit of time. And my understanding is there's been a request to have a Zoom call with the governor, and so far no answer. So there was a comment about $0 in the capital bill. I don't think there was a time distortion with COVID. That capital bill came out last year before COVID ever started, and we got zero. So that was well before any of this ever happened. A reminder as far as how the board operates on topics, the mayor speaks last. I ask multiple times for comments. You don't comment. I say I'm going to comment and then call the roll. I'm going to comment and call the roll. If you try and jump in after that, too late. You had your opportunity. I gave you plenty of chances. So if you want to speak, you were given an opportunity. Regarding putting stuff on the board floor, I think tonight, an idea of yours was put on the board floor. So if you bring good ideas to the table, they get to the board floor. That's the way it works. You got to bring good ideas. You got to sell them to people. And as I did when I had a 6-to-1 board operating, where I was in the minority all the time, I had to actually work and talk to the trustees and get things passed. That's how things work. All that folderol overshadows the great work from our staff. Things like getting Caputo's deal done in less than a week. So great job. Things like this email. So I'm reading this email. I really want to express my heartfelt thank you to Officer Kelly Vallon. I realize our police department has their hands full with an array of really important and serious items on a daily basis, which is what made her actions all the more special. Century Junior High's PFE, our version of a PTA, planned our first Boo Through Trunk or Treat event. Since many families don't feel comfortable trick-or-treating this year and many won't be opening their doors during this uncertain time with COVID, we wanted to help give our students a small connection to a normal event and not so normal year. Your officer happily volunteered to be part of our event. I always think it is important to outreach to our junior high students and their parents to see police officers in a friendly context, like the DARE program, getting used to seeing them patrol our halls to familiarize themselves with our layouts in case of unfortunate events, and yes, passing candy out to the community at a trunk or treat event. It's a win-win for the police department and our community, and we are so fortunate that the Orland Police Department and its officers find this community outreach an important priority. Officer Kelly Vallon went above and beyond yesterday afternoon. She started off our trunk or treat parade of cars and had her police vehicle lights flashing, which was a wonderful beacon to help show parents exactly where to go. Because she was the first contact, she also sweetly answered some confused parents' questions and provided direction for them while handing out candy to at least 200 kids. She not only did all this with a giant friendly smile, under her mask of course, but her eyes were smiley too. But she willingly did it in 45-degree cold temperatures for 2 hours. We were all frozen by the end. Oh, and I should mention, we asked her very last minute too, and she unselfishly fit us right in. Her commitment to our kids and community is inspiring and touching, and she certainly represents the best of the police department. We are so lucky to have you, all of you, making a positive impact on our children. Thank you, Officer Kelly Vallon, for being so generous with your time. I hope you have adequately thought out by now. Again, thank you for helping make this a successful event. Have a not-so-scary Halloween weekend and stay safe. With my deepest gratitude, Robin Michon, Century Junior High PFE President. So that's the kind of people we have working here, and that's the kind of things that get done in Orland Park. So, you know, she's done a lot of things to make us proud before, but she's not the only one. We all do. This just happened to be the one that I received. So thank you very much to the staff and all the hard work that you put in. Orland Park's a wonderful community. I grew up here. I raised my family here. Those of us who have decided to work together have helped keep it this way, even in a time of national crisis. Thank you. And lastly, for those of you who have not voted, please get out and do so tomorrow. It is one of the most important responsibilities we have as citizens. That'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Call the roll.
Who seconded that? Trustee Calandrella?
Aye.
Trustee Katsinas?
Aye.
Trustee Fenton? Trustee Dodge? Trustee Healy? Trustee Malani?
Aye.
Mayor Pico?
Aye.